Well, welcome back, everybody, to Inside Raider Nation. This is episode 3 with Coach John Lindsey, and as always, I'm here with the head coach of the East Paulding football program, Coach John Lindsey. Thanks for coming back, Coach.
Thank you for having me.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the big game on Friday night. You know, this is going to be a popular webcast, I guarantee you. It was a good game for the program and a lot of energy in the stadium. Talk a little bit about preparation going into the game, what you thought of the execution of the kids, our high points and low points. Tell me a little bit about your feelings on the game.
Well, we made a lot of improvement from the Walton scrimmage, which, I expected and hoped, would happen. I was worried about our atmosphere, our kids getting out. The only time we had to practice on the new turf was the Thursday before, and they were kind of big-eyed going out to practice. So, you got a lot of worries and concerns and going into it, but thought our kids handled it well. Thought they came out and, a lot of excitement, a lot of intensity, didn't really get overwhelmed a lot. And I think our coaching staff did a great job, too, of not making a big deal out of things. And, we just went out and played football. And I was real pleased with our kids handling that and corrected a ton of mistakes. We still made a ton of mistakes, but we corrected a lot of things from the Walton scrimmage and, were able to take care of business.
Now, defensively, it was a showing for East Paulding. I mean, those boys went out there, and you could tell from play one that they were ready to fly around and hit somebody. Tell me a little bit about the defensive preparation, some of the shining points on that. I know we held Holloman in check for most of the day.
Defensive staff did a great job getting our kids ready, and, we always go in with a few keys, and obviously the number one key was at least slow down. I didn't think stop, but slow down number 3. I mean, kid's a fabulous back, rushed for like 2,000 yards last year, and, that's tough. I mean, he's a good runner, and they have a solid offensive line, and our quarterback did a great job. I really thought, watching them on film, they were better offensively this year than last year, just because they have so much more ability to throw the football, I felt like, this year.
Right.
So, to me, they were more dangerous this year and can be more run-pass, equaled out. So, thought our defensive guys did a great job, though.
I think the tally was, I actually did a little looking myself, and I was looking at Marietta Daily Journal. I think they had 9 defensive stops behind the line of scrimmage on Holloman, and then another 3 sacks, I believe it was, on the quarterback. So we definitely played on their side of the ball, and you'll notice a little bit different in our backdrop today. I went ahead and brought it up here and set it up in the backdrop just to let everybody see it in the Raider Nation.
I didn't know what it was. The kids brought it out, and I asked one of the kids, Cruz Paul, said, "What is that?" And he kind of gave me the quick version. And I figured it out. Yeah, after I read it.
So each year we trade between Allatoona. Whoever wins takes it home and carries it for the year. And, of course, it's ours this year. Now, we took a minute to talk to your senior starting linebacker, Sonny Smith, a little bit about the defensive game and the North Paulding game coming up. I'd like to go to that interview right now. Welcome back to Inside the Locker Room in the Raider Nation. I'm here with senior linebacker, number 44, Sonny Smith. Welcome, Sonny.
Welcome.
Glad to have you. Now, Sonny, you led the team last year in tackles. In 2013, you were voted Newcomer of the Year in the region, right?
Yes, sir.
Friday night was a pretty big game for us. You had a good performance against Allatoona. Mm-hmm. Talk a little bit about Friday night and some of the things y'all did to kind of hold Russell Holloman in check, and what you thought the overall performance of the defense was on Friday night.
Well, our defense played a good game on Friday, and first of all, we had to stay calm because we knew last year he had a pretty good game against us, so we had that in the back of our minds. He had 209 yards, so this year our main goal was to maintain him and to keep him in the box, and just to play hard, play aggressive, and don't get too caught up in the field or uniforms and the fans, and we just stayed calm in the whole game, and that's how we had a pretty good game.
Well, I'll tell you what, I've watched Russell for many years. I've watched you for many years, and I don't think I've ever seen Russell held to so few yards, especially in the first half. They said he had 26 yards, but I would say he had negative yards in the first half. I'm going to do the count myself, but I don't see 26 yards in that first half. Needless to say, it was a great performance by the defense. Tell me a little bit about your football background, when you started playing, where you played your youth ball at, some of the lessons you've learned from football.
Well, I started playing at Sandtown, and I was a running back. It was my first year, and I was kind of new to the game, and it was a lot of people that was bigger than me. I was always the smallest. Every team I played with, I was always smallest. So my dad told me just to play above your level. So every team I played with, Sandtown, South Paulding, Hiram Hornets, I just played like I was 6'3", 250 because I had the mindset that I had to go out here and not play my size, because people always look down on me on my size. And I just always kept that up with me. And now this year, I'm kind of, I hit the weight room a lot because I got to get, I hit the weight room a lot and got my speed up and got everything up to high school, because high school is different from rec ball, because everybody's faster and stronger in rec ball. Now high school is everybody's on the same level, so I just work harder to be on the same, to be higher than other people on the field.
Yeah, you see it a lot in high school. The guys that were supposedly like the superstars in rec ball, a lot of those other guys catch up to them. By the time it comes to high school, you get bigger, stronger, testosterone kicks in. Now, I'll remember the play that told me everything I ever needed to know about you. I was coaching our rival. I was coaching out at North Paulding, and you hit DJ Owens, and your helmet got knocked off, and you ran over there and picked up your helmet and put your helmet on, and then chased him down and made the tackle. And that right there told me everything I needed to know about Sonny Smith. Now, tell me a little bit about your plans moving forward. I know you're playing football right now. Do you plan on playing football at the next level? Are you looking at any specific colleges?
Well, the colleges are right now kind of like scattered, but I plan to play on a 4-year D1 low scale or D1 double A. But my main plan is to get my major in engineering, and then after that, wherever happens. But I want to get the major is the most important thing right now. So I keep my grades up and keep school up. My bad.
Now, any particular engineering, mechanical, aerospace, electrical?
Well, I like anatomy and I like biology. So I think chemical or medical engineering is where it kind of weighs out.
So, we're going into our big rival game this week. North Paulding is, a rival game for a lot of us on many different levels. Tell me a little bit about what you know about North Paulding going into Friday night.
North Paulding and East Paulding have always been a big hype game for the whole county, and everybody wants to see North Paulding, East Paulding battle. So we just got to get the hype and the big fans and the crowd going crazy out of our minds. North Paulding is a big passing team, and we gotta. I'm not saying our DBs are bad, but we gotta cover their main receivers: Chad Terrell, DJ Owens, and Dylan. I don't know his name. Yeah, Dylan. And the quarterback has a nice arm, so we just gotta stay. We gotta maintain our assignments. Coach Willingham always tell us to stay with our assignments, because we have a tendency of blowing coverages with our young guys, but once us seniors are trying to get the young guys to play on our level, because if they play on our level, if the whole defense is playing up here, we can stop anybody in this region.
Right. There's nobody that'll stop you if everybody's at
the same level.
Well, I look forward to this Friday night. Y'all did a fantastic job. You can see what we got sitting right here, right? We brought it home to East this year, the treasure chest. We took it from Allatoona. Great job this year. Look forward to seeing you play at the next level. We appreciate you coming on, Sonny.
You too.
All right, buddy. Thank you. Well, that was a great interview with Sonny, Coach. Now let's move on to the offensive side of the ball. We had some pretty exciting things happen on the offensive side of the ball. From a fan's perspective, it looks like we moved the ball up and down the field pretty much like we wanted to, short of a few costly mistakes and penalties. We look much better on offense, I think, this week than we did at Walton.
We're still playing ourselves. I've said it all along. We're playing the East Paulding Raiders every Friday night. If we don't create, turnovers and stupid penalties, we're going to play with about everybody we go against right now. And these penalties, at critical times are great teachable moments and, coaching moments for these kids. I've harped on it again today and chewed some of them out again today and ran them and went through film and we talked about it. So, and the turnovers, we do ball drills every day. We just got to continue working on carrying the football, getting stronger and not turning it over is key for us. And, we had nice drives, man. We really owned the line of scrimmage, which it caught me off guard. I wasn't expecting us to own the line of scrimmage like we did, to be honest with you. But we were physical and moved the ball up and down the field. We kind of threw and wanted to and tried to keep them off balance. And, we did a good job offensively as far as just moving the ball, but we've got to quit making those mistakes, and we have to be able to punch it in. We got 4th and 3. Down at 4th and goal from the 3-yard line, and we go no play just to kind of see what they line up on, and we jump off sides. I know we're excited, but we have to keep our composure there and have some poise about us. And when it's 4th and goal from the 8, well, we got to kick field goal. Right. So, it's from frustrating times, but also I see a lot of room for improvement, which I'm excited about.
Well, and that's a good thing that
it is.
That we were able to come away with a big region win and still have a lot of room for improvement.
Yeah.
A couple of the factors from the game, a couple of the notes and stats. We know that Maurice Sanders had over 130 yards rushing. Dylan Prater had right at 80 yards, and then Cody Long on 3 carries had right at 54 yards. So we amassed 250 yards as a team in carries, which was far more than Allatoona, who was supposed to have the vaunted running game coming into the game. So that was really impressive. Were there a couple plays that stood out to you on the offensive side of the ball?
Well, one of them's when Dylan Prater comes off the field and blood pouring down his face. I'll be honest with you, I kind of went into panic mode for just a minute, but I want to brag on Jalen Browder for stepping in there and taking a snap and doing a good job and ran the play and executed it well. I mean, not every kid can handle that. So, hats off to him, and our trainer, Jessica, got Dylan right back on the field again, and we were ready to go. So, I want to brag on a couple of those people. And Dylan came back in, and he never missed a beat offensively. We kept running him and making him throw the football, and, he didn't miss a beat. So, Maurice Sanders, what a game he had. The O-line made some great blocks. He made great runs, broke tackles. Great running back for us. I mean, the guy, to me, is as good as the running back at Allatoona, in my opinion. Watching them both, they're very similar. They're both very powerful. And, they're impressive. Our receivers out on the edge, we caught some nice little stop routes. And Chile caught the touchdown pass, broke his collarbone catching it. But, great catch. And we'll have him back hopefully in a few weeks. And, the biggest thing for us right now is depth. It's hurting us because we're trying to figure out who to put where. You'll see some new guys in for us on each side of the ball. We're trying to build depth within our team because, that rainy day is coming. And you got to be ready for the rainy day. So, right now, just getting that depth in place it's tough because kids are still trying to learn one position.
All right, you got to have that next man up mentality.
Absolutely.
You got to have the guy ready to step into the spot because I always have told my players, you're one play away from being the starter.
Absolutely.
One play away. And so, but you said a little bit about Mojo, Maurice Sanders, and we took a minute and we sat down with Maurice and talked about his performance on the offensive ball. Let's go to that interview right now. All right, we're here inside the locker room with number 13, senior starting running back, Maurice Sanders, also known as Mojo. Thanks for coming on board, Mo. Now, of course, Friday night, everybody was expecting Russell Holloman to be the leading rusher in that game. He was going to come in, run for a ton of yards, and who ended up being the leading rusher in that game?
Maurice Sanders.
I think it would have been Maurice Sanders. Yeah. I agree. You did a great job on Friday night. You did a good job of finding the holes, squirting through there, and then you were real explosive getting down the field. Now, tell me a little bit about Friday night's game, the feel of the game, and the crowd was unbelievable.
Oh my
Could y'all
God.
feel that out on the field?
Yeah, you could definitely feel it. But it was a first for me because that was my first varsity game because I wasn't able to play last year. So it was like a whole new experience.
Yeah, it was a pretty rowdy crowd on Friday night.
Our crowd is something else. Our student section is amazing too.
We got a black hole now. Did you see
Oh
that?
my God,
we got all the Raiders fans with the helmets on and
amazing.
The shoulder pads. It was pretty cool. I enjoyed it. Now you led the game with 126 yards rushing.
36.
136. You averaged over 6 yards a carry, which is pretty good. It's not bad at all. Now
I could have done better.
Tell me a little bit about your football background, where you played your rec ball, how long you been playing.
I've been playing ever since 6th grade, and I played for California Park. And I don't know if anybody knows, but they wasn't that good.
Now, did you play when they were the Cowboys,
No.
or did you play when they were the Hornets?
I played from when they went from the Hornets to the Raiders.
Hornets to the Raiders, okay.
Yeah.
Now, I know all of those transitions.
Yeah.
We've all gone in these circles
Too many
for
of them.
years, right? So, you played for California. Did you play all the way up through till you got to middle school at California?
Yes, I
okay.
did.
And then you played middle school here? Mm-hmm. And you played under Coach
Shane.
Webb in
Yeah.
middle school? All right, now, have you always played running back?
Yes, running back and corner.
Running back and corner. Now, are you doing any work at corner this year?
I mean, they got me working at corner for North Paulding.
So you're doing a little bit of work at corner for North. Okay, that's good because we're definitely going to
Yeah.
need some speed out there. We got number 2 DJ, and
Golly.
I think Chad's 81 this year. There's 2 guys that can stretch the field on
They
you. And,
can.
if you give Kyle and them time, they can put it down the field. They did it a couple times against Archer, but
Yeah.
I think if you saw Archer put a lot of
Archer's
pressure
too
on
good.
him. Archer's a good football team,
They're
that's for
too
sure.
good.
But I think we're just as good. I think we can
That'd
go
be
out
a
there
good
on Friday
competition.
night, right? I think we go out there Friday night and put some competition for them on the field. Now, do you have plans going forward in football? Are you looking at playing at the next level? Are you looking to go to school anywhere in particular?
Well, my dream college is LSU, but that's just a dream. I hope to come true. But the one college I really want to go to is KSU. That's where I got my mindset.
You know, there's a lot of people looking at KSU. I mean, I
Yeah.
think they're going to have a very good football program.
They're supposed to break out this year.
There's a lot of talent. There's a lot of talent in this area for them to pull with that isn't necessarily getting picked up by the other schools. So I think they'll do real good. Now, tell me a couple of lessons that you've learned in football over the years that kind of taught you things, lessons in life.
Ooh. One thing my mom always told me in the football field is keep your head up, because there's so many players in the football field, and a game could change in one play.
Yep. I mean, we had a couple instances of that on Friday night where we could have gone down the tubes because of a couple plays, but I think that you had a turnover, and then you turned around and picked it right back up in the next series and toted the rock like you were supposed to. And that's what you got to have a short memory in football.
Yeah, that's the
when
key
something
thing.
goes bad, you got to move on to the next play, right? Well, I'm looking forward to seeing you out there Friday night. A little more of that mojo magic on Friday night. And
I'm gonna try.
Hey, we want to take it from them in their house, right?
Oh, no doubt.
All right. Well, I appreciate you coming on, Mo.
Thank you.
We'll see you on Friday night, and good luck the rest of the season. That's Maurice Sanders, number 13, starting running back for East Paulding Raiders. All right, Coach, and then our last offensive player that we're going to talk about, which will be our third senior for the day, is going to be number 8, Kyron Spinx. Can you tell me a little bit about Kyron and his role and his improvement so far on the year?
It's been fun watching him improve, going through the spring. He seemed kind of lost, and his hands weren't real good catching the football. And, we were just talking. It seems like at least once a week we talk about, him getting better and improving each week. His hands have gotten so much better. He's figuring out some things for us offensively. I wouldn't be surprised later in the year to see him start moving into a role and getting some playing time for us. And, some of those guys don't have a ton of football experience.
Right.
But they're getting a lot of reps now. They have no choice.
Right.
Coach Rogers does a fantastic job with our receivers. And whether you're the worst receiver or the best receiver, you're going to get the same reps, and he's going to rep you and really work you hard. And I've seen a lot of guys for us that I wasn't sure would be able to get some playing time. So, I think his time possibly could be coming for sure.
Yeah, and with like you said, with Sean Cheeley breaking his collarbone, that makes us a little shorter at the
Absolutely.
receiver. These guys are going to have to step up and play a bigger role in the Friday night. I'm here today with senior slot receiver number 8, Kyron Spinx. Thanks for coming on with us, Kyron. Tell me a little bit about yourself, your football background, how long you've been playing, where you played rec ball at.
I played rec ball. I played football for a while, and I played at Kennesaw for 1 year in 2006, and rest in 4 years at U.S. Warriors.
You played for the Hoyas?
Yes, sir.
Were you out there with J.L. Brooks when he was out there? Was he the director? You remember him?
Barely.
Barely, okay. So how long have you been at the East Paulding Raiders program?
Since seventh grade.
So you played at the middle school program
Yes,
in
sir.
7th grade?
Yes, sir.
Now, have you always played receiver, or have you played other positions too?
I play mostly receiver, but I've been in practice at receiver, but I play corner too a little.
You played corner also?
Yes, sir.
What is the biggest lesson that you've learned so far from football, you would say?
Keep your head on a swivel.
Keep your head on a swivel. Yeah, there's a lot of dangerous people flying around out there. What are your goals for this season and going forward in the year? And do you have plans when you get out of high school? Do you have plans for any further sports? Are you going to school anywhere?
I'm planning to play college football, but trying mostly get my grades back together because I didn't do good last year. So I'll focus on the grades first and.
Yeah, because the first thing that the coaches are going to ask about
Yeah.
is what's his GPA.
Yes, sir.
When they're talking to the head coach. Now, you play slot receiver. What did you see in the game against Allatoona offensively and defensively? Where do you think that we kind of made headway versus the previous week versus Walton?
We didn't have enough time in the pocket for the quarterback to throw it to the slot receivers, so we just need to work on the O-line, stay on their blocks, us keep running our routes right, keep knowing the plays, knowing the keys of the blocks. If we run key 2 or key 1, we need to know who to block, have blocker stuff.
Right, so be precise on our routes and our blocking technique.
Yes, sir.
Now, we've got a big game coming up this Friday. It's
North.
our biggest rivalry now, North. What do you see going into North? What do we have to stop? Are there any particular players you know of that we need to really focus on stopping in the game?
Coach been talking about number 34 that we can. He plays safety,
Okay.
and one route we want to run is
Well, let's not talk.
Yeah.
Let's not talk about the routes we're going to run. Coach might get mad at us for that. But so 34 at safety is an area where y'all going to focus.
Number 34 and 1, I want to say.
Right. And what about receivers on offense? Did you talk anything about their big receivers on offense yet?
No, sir.
Yeah, I know a lot of those kids out there. It's going to be a good football game. It's a
Yes.
good rivalry. Looking forward to seeing you guys go out there and take it away from them at home this week.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well, I appreciate you coming on, Kyron. Good luck in the rest of the season.
Thank you.
And we'll see you at the end of the year. Now, we're going to kind of do what we always do. We're going to put that Allatoona game. You told the boys they had 24 hours. We let the fans have a couple more days.
Yeah, I think we kept a couple more.
We kept a
We
couple
practiced today like it was 72 hours, I
Right,
think.
you give
So,
them 72.
but yeah, I told them today, I said, we didn't beat North Paulding today. We didn't in practice, and we got to get that washed out behind us and learn how to handle wins. Sometimes handling a win is a lot harder than a loss. And so we got to be able to handle that and come out with some fire. And I've got faith in us. I think tomorrow will be a better day. Mondays are usually not very good days for coaches or players because it's some things you're doing new and trying to get back in the groove. So Tuesday will be a new day for us.
And we're still looking for Raider football.
We're still looking for Raider football.
And I tell you what, I think it's going to be a great thing when we finally find
Well, me too. It's out there. I've seen flashes.
You see flashes. Well, hopefully this Friday night will be when we find it. Now, I know that you've gone from Paulding County and you were down at Camden and Irwin and Cook, so you haven't been around since North Paulding was created. But I'm sure, as you know, North Paulding and East has become a very big rivalry. It originally started out because all these kids played rec ball
Sure.
together, and they were all slated to come here together, and then they got split, and so it created kind of a real good old Southern hate, I guess you could say, right?
Sure.
But tell me a little bit about what you know about North Paulding, what your preparations are going into the week. We know that we're playing East, but what have you seen in North that we're going to need to contain?
Coach Jones does a great job there. I have a lot of respect for Scott Jones and his staff. When I watch them, his kids are well coached. They do a great job in their scheme, and Coach Jones is going to have them motivated and ready to play. I worked for him. He's actually the first head coach I ever worked for. Gave me the first job. I was still in college, so we have some ties, some personal ties there, and I think the world of him. And I have a lot of respect for North Paulding because they do a good job in the way they play and what they do, and they're trying to go to the next level. But, I think our kids, I think we'll be ready to play them. I think they'll be ready to play, and I keep harping to them, we got to get ready on Monday. We can't wait till Tuesday or Wednesday. So, I think, like you said, that rivalry's there, and our kids will come out ready to play. North Paulding's a very good football team. They played the number 4 team in the country. And I think they scored 21 or 28 points. I think it was 21 points, on the number 4 team in the country. That's saying something. They have a very high power offense. Defensively, they've changed their scheme this year to a 3-4 defense. So, they're moving around trying to find what works for them, and very solid on special teams. So they're a very solid football team from top to bottom.
Right. Well, we've all known a lot of these kids for years, and they've got 3 very strong receivers on that team with Chad Terrell, Dylan Artenreath, and DJ Owens, and then they got Kyle Banks back there flinging the ball around. I think all 3 of those guys have D1 either commits or offers right now on the table. So we're going up against probably the best passing team I think we'll face all year long. So hopefully our guys can step up. I know we're going to be missing a couple guys, but hopefully the next man up will happen, and these guys will step up and make it happen. Anything you want to say to the Raider Nation going into Friday? I know we're going to be out there. Are we going to talk about a whiteout? You want a whiteout at the game, or you just want them to show up and act like Raider fans?
You're going to kind of find out with me. I kind of stay about right here. I don't get too high. I don't get too low. I kind of stay here in the middle. I want fans to come have a great time. If it's a whiteout, great. If it's a blackout, whiteout, whatever it is, it doesn't matter to me. Just be there, cheer loud. I thought Friday night was a fantastic atmosphere. I love our home stadium now. As I got to look and people were sitting along the hill, along the ridge, man, what a great venue to play football in, especially now that we have the turf field. So I know going to North, it's going to be a hostile environment for us. I'm really looking forward to it because that's what makes it fun. We're going to go there and everybody's going to have some emotions are going to be high, and I'll be jacked up, and so it'll be a lot of fun. Our kids will be excited. I won't have to say a whole lot to get them excited. They know, and what's at stake and what's going on here, and I know we're going to travel well and have a big crowd there. So I'm excited about it. Appreciate them staying behind us, and cheer loud for us, and keep encouraging at home, and let's play Raider football.
Well, as always, Coach, I appreciate you coming on Inside Raider Nation and talking to the fans. And we look forward to Friday night. I don't know if you saw it or not, but we got our own Black Hole squad now. Guys with the helmets and shoulder pads and face painted look like the Oakland Raiders out there. I'm encouraging you, Black Hole squad, be there Friday night at North Paulding, 7:30. I'm going to say let's go wide out, guys. Let's go wide out. Let's have a strong showing and cheer the Raiders on to victory. And again, thank you for watching Inside Raider Nation with Coach Lindsey.